Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the best powders to spend your money on. Not only is it going to be pressed powders, loose powders, translucent powders, also affordable in drugstores, so it should be a really fun video. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so first I'm going to start with pressed powders because I feel like I have a lot more to say about the translucent ones, so I'm going to get through these really quickly. First powders that I'm going to talk about are from LA Girl Cosmetics. These are the Pro Face HD Definition powders. Their HD line is really similar to Makeup Forever's HD line in my opinion, so when I first started freelancing, this is what I could afford, so I will do all my clients with these powders and foundations, and they absolutely loved it. The formula is really nice, it's really velvety, it doesn't get creasy on my clients or anybody that I have put them on, or also to myself. They are super budget friendly. I will have other prices for you guys so that you guys know what's the price point. So these are really good ones. They also have a really good shade variation in the drugstore, and I also have a code with LA Girl if you guys want to buy online. It is valid 10 and you guys can save some money on these. And they're also really good for like medium and like fair skin tones. These are amazing powders that I found from the drugstore. Another powder that I love personally for myself all over my face, and a powder that I can always count on that is also really affordable, is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. I've been using this since I was in middle school, so about like for 10 years. I've been using this powder. This is in the shade 004 Sandstorm, and it might look a little lighter on the pan than it does on my face. I mean, I don't have it on today, but it just does something to my skin that it is just a really light pressed fine powder that you can use to set your foundation in place, set your under eyes, buff out anything on your face. I really love it for that reason. Now we're gonna go into the more like medium range category when it comes to money. These are the Galactic Pressed Luminous Powder. So when I first got these, I was really hesitant to use them because I didn't want my face to look really like shimmery, because that's not what you want when you want to powder your face. But these powders, you guys, are probably like one of my favorite ones. It leaves just enough luminosity on the skin to where it's not glittery or shiny, but it's just like a really pretty natural glow look. And the coverage of these powders are amazing. I use the shades light and medium. Medium is like my all over shade pretty much when I am more tanner, but this light shade is the bomb.com. I've used this a lot actually last year, but I want to use them more this year because I only use them like in the summertime. So if you have dry skin like I do and you wouldn't mind a little bit of extra glow with your powders, then definitely try these out. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my bougie powder, and you guys have probably seen this like on YouTube all over. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. As you guys know by the name, it is flawless. The finish is amazing, and it also brightens up my complexion pretty much. It is my most used powder. As you can see, I hit pan on it. I am in the color medium 2. Charlotte Tilbury face products are amazing, but this one I love mainly to like buff out when I bake my face. This is a powder that I like to go over like my loose powder, because I feel like the loose powder and the pressed powder blends really nicely on my skin, and I'll go in with like a taper brush. I could do this in my video on like must-have brushes, but this powder, you guys, like if I were to choose one pressed powder out of all of them, would be the Charlotte Tilbury for like my regular pressed powder, because it leaves me such a beautiful finish to my skin, like a really luxurious feel, like, which lets you know why you're spending so much money. And then I will probably also get the luminous one, variation of both, if I want to be more on the matte side or if I want to be more on the dewy side. Okay guys, now moving on to loose powders, which happen to be my favorite because they are so multi-use and you can do so many things with them. And I just love them so much because they provide you with such different like textures and brightness, colors. They're just like amazing. I feel like I'm gonna start working my way from like the cheapest to the highest. I'm just gonna do my best because I don't know the prices off the top of my head. Up first, I have some more LA Girl loose powder. These are the HD setting powders. I have a banana yellow and I have a translucent for all skin tones. Not gonna lie, I do not like this one as much because I feel like sometimes it can give me a little bit of flashback, not too much because I always take my pictures with my iPhone, so I'm not really doing flash photography, but sometimes when I put it on, I see that it's a little white and a little bit of an overcast, like, ooh, that doesn't look right. But I do love it to mix it with my banana one. I wish I could show you guys, but it's a little messy, but this one right here is like so soft, and the banana color doesn't turn like dark yellow or like a dark orange color. Sometimes when you put a banana color on top of your concealer, it might oxidize it and then it creates like a really dark shadow where you apply it and then it's just a big mess. So be careful when using banana concealer, especially if you're more of on the fair range of skin tones. But any dark girl will tell you this is their best friend. And even for like medium skin tones, banana setting powders just do something that makes you look so like banana-ish and just so yummy and like just like a beautiful sunset in Puerto Rico. That's the best way I can explain it. But I love mixing this banana shade with all of my loose powders, especially when I am more tan. I find that some of these get a little light for me, a little more ashy and cool tone. So I just put a little bit this in there and it makes it amazing. Or if I am more tan, like 2 to 3 shades darker, I will only go with this and it does wonders for my under eye. Another good banana powder from the drugstore is the Makeup Revolution Luxury Banana Powder. I can't say that it is like my ride or die. I only use it on occasion, mainly when I do drugstore tutorials, but I do love it. I feel like it's really similar to the LA Girl brand, but as you can see, you get more product in here, probably for the same price. So if you know that you're looking for a banana powder, definitely go with the Makeup Revolution one because you're gonna get more for your buck. It says right here, the natural heat from your body will cook the powder over base foundation or concealer, giving you a flawless finish. And again, you can use this not only for your under eyes, but to set your entire face and also to chisel out your cheekbones and all of that. I'm really happy that I was able to find setting powders that I love from the drugstore because most of them are really like plasticky, I feel like, and they don't really sit well on the skin. They don't really like lay nicely. They just kind of like crease under your eyes. So these three right here are like my absolute gems for the drugstore. Another good loose translucent powder, it is the Revlon Candid powder. I'm not gonna say that it's my favorite that I've tried. It's a little bit powdery and it has some kind of scent to it that I really don't like. Some powders, they're not velvety, so they just sit on the skin and they're, whenever you try to buff them out, they can still leave some residue. This is that kind of powder, but when in need, it does the job. I've used it like maybe 2 to 3 times and I really like it. So the reason I'm showing you guys to give you more options of amazing setting powders within your budget and also from the drugstore that you can see for yourself at Ulta, CVS, Walgreens, Target. So I'm just pulling out all the powders for all my people, you know? But I must say for the drugstore, it's a pretty good powder. Up next, we're gonna talk about a powder that it is loved by the makeup industry in general. If you're a freelance makeup artist, you need this in your kits. A lot of like OG YouTubers will use this back in the day, and I feel like this was kind of like the first loose powder that was introduced, like one of the first ones, and then as brands started to develop and stuff, they became out with different formulas. This right here is the RCMA No Color Powder. This right here I've had for over like 2 years, and you guys see how much I have left. I have one for myself and I have one for my freelance kit that I barely use anymore, but anytime that I have to do freelance or anybody, this is the powder, you guys, that I literally put on everyone. Dry, oily, combination skin, neutral, fair, dark, really dark, medium skin tones. Whatever your skin tone it is, this will work amazing for you. Not only is it stark white, it looks like Parmesan cheese. People always get scared because it's literally white. When you put it on, it's super white, but whenever you buff it out, it gives you the most radiant, brightened look, and that's why I really love it. I don't do it more for the color because obviously it's white, but I feel like if you want to brighten up your under eyes or really chisel out your face, this powder will be amazing. I don't recommend it for everyday use unless you're going to a special event or you take pictures, you're a model, blogger, influencer, yada because it will really just like change up the look of your makeup. But for an everyday, if you want to get this, it's like $8 and you get all this powder. You could totally try it out, but I would probably recommend it more for like an all over powder, like an anti-shine powder. But I don't know if it will be worth it for you to get it for like an everyday makeup because it has no color to it. It is more to just brighten up the face and really set and cook and bake your face. So this is like intense powder, but it does the trick, guys. I think Jaclyn Hill uses it a lot, and I've seen a lot of influencers use it too. It's just like an OG powder, and I think you can only get this in like the RCMA website, which is for professionals only, but I'm sure you can get it at Nigel's Beauty for like retail price. So I will have the link for this down below. Up next, we're gonna start getting into the more high-end powders that you guys love and adore. First up, we have the Laura Mercier powder. You guys know when this came out, it was everybody's favorite. Everybody bought it, and it was also like really expensive. It was like the most expensive powder on the market. I remember that I would literally have to like save money like for my paycheck when I used to work retail to be able to afford this. And finally, more brands started coming out with more affordable powder, so I stopped using it. And then whenever I started, you know, YouTube and like being an influencer and stuff, I finally got on Laura Mercier's PR list, and they always keep me sucked up. So I kind of fell out of love with it because I was trying so many other ones, but the identity of the powder still stands true to how amazing this is. This is definitely a powder that is on my top 3, I would say. It is just really good. It's really powdery and rich, but it's also really nice to bake with. You can bake with this and add as many as you want, and it will not crease on you. Some people don't like it, but for somebody that has dry skin like me, I totally recommend it. Don't be scared to try it out. You can always put setting spray over it, and it would take the dryness away from it if you do feel that's a little bit dry. But I really love this one, especially to bake underneath of my cheekbones. It gives me like the right amount of softness and like matteness to my look, but still leaves my skin dewy. It's just like an amazing powder. Like, I used it today on my face, and when I filmed the first half of this video, it was like early in the morning. I had to run to Orlando to get my ring because it was getting fixed, and then I came back. Now it's like nighttime and my face is still holding on, girl. Up next, I'm gonna talk about powders that are also one of my favorites. They are also from one of my favorite brands ever. Too Faced definitely has one of the best powders in the market, the Born This Way formula. It is just like a regular powder, really comparable to the Laura Mercier. I really love the texture of it. There's so much I can say about powders, but I really do like this one. I think it's a little bit more affordable than the Laura Mercier, so just, you know, see what fits your budget. And one of the reasons why I really love the Too Faced one is because I can actually take the stopper off, and I'm able to really get in there and use as many product as I want to. But it can get a little messy, so that's like the downside of it. I feel like I do waste a lot of product because I don't have the stopper, but girl, I'm just trying to dip it and cook it, you know, and set it and forget it. Now, you guys know that this powder right here is like probably my #1 favorite powder. Now, I have been leaning more towards the Laura Mercier because I feel like this one right here, sometimes it gets too drying on me, even though I love the look of it, but sometimes I put too much on and it kind of dries out my skin. But I can still tell you that it's like my favorite one in the entire world. Like, this will always be my #1 powder for now. It sets my skin so beautifully. This is actually a matte loose setting powder. All the other ones that I've showed you are not a matte formula, but this one is. It's not really powdery. It looks like a really thin mist of powder when you look at it. It's like really, it's a really like airy formula. It feels like Pixie does, but it's actually like a powder. And the minute you put it on top of your concealer, you can see the difference of it like completely mattifying it out. So this will be like my best friend like in the summertime when it gets hotter here in Florida. Like, I have to wear like heat protected like makeup. So this right here is perfect for that. If you're really oily, I highly recommend you trying this powder. But for me, that I am dry, I just love a full face look. So I feel like to get a full face, it leans a little bit more towards the matte side than the dewy side. So this is just like my go-to, and it smells like peaches. Like, it is amazing. I also love this powder to sit all over my face, so that is also another good reason why I love it. Up next, I have a loose powder from Milk Makeup. I do like it a lot. I can't say that I'm like in love with it, but this one actually has some color to it, so it is the only one that I have that is actually colored, if that makes any sense. It's either like translucent or like white, but this one is actually like my skin tone, so I have to be really careful when I apply it. It is in the shade medium, so maybe that's why I don't really use it a lot, because I feel like sometimes it can get a little bit dark for me. But I really like the formula. It feels more like a pressed powder formula to me. When I put it on, it doesn't go as like airbrushed and flawless, but it's a really good loose powder if you like a full coverage look, which is probably what I go for every single day. But I feel like I have to get like the lighter shade so that I can use it every day, but it's also another good alternative. Obviously, I'm going to talk about a loose setting powder, but this one is specifically under your eyes or any area that you want to brighten, just as the RCMA does. We have one from Laura Mercier. Now this one, the formula goes on a little bit chalky that I don't really like, and it goes on really white. So if you do apply a lot of it, you will have a little bit of white show through like in person. I haven't had a problem with it like photographed, but this will leave your under eyes looking like $1,000,000. When you feel it, it's just so velvety and smooth. It's just a little bit more stark white than my RCMA. So a little goes a long way, but what I like to do is apply this after I apply my concealer. I bake and then I wipe it off. I like to go in back again to like this inner part right here. I don't have it on today, that's why my face is more like one tone. So I'll put it on right here in the inner corner, sometimes like on my chin and like my nose, and it just brightens up my look so much. And I really love this product. I feel like it's one of those staples that like I have when I'm gonna be like super extra. Okay guys, so last but not least, we have the Huda Beauty baking powder. I just got this like about a month ago and I love it so much. Like I'm really scared that this powder is going to outdo all the other ones that I have. It smells amazing, just like the foundation does. It smells like literally perfume, and I'm not crazy about the cushiony like pillow because I feel like I can't really get as much product as I want to, and I feel like a lot of product is wasted away because it accumulates in there and then it gets old and you're trying to tap it into the cap. So that's one thing that I really don't like about it. But the product itself, like the powder itself, is so rich and it's just a great baking powder. Above everything else, setting is great, but like to bake your face, this is like your best friend. I got the shade Pound Cake, and you guys, I love it. You guys know that I really love my Huda Beauty Full Filter Foundation, one of my favorite full coverage. So this again stands more on the full coverage side, and it's also really affordable for a high-end loose powder in my opinion. So I really have been liking this one, guys. So you're gonna see me use this more throughout the year, and I want to get like more shades because I feel like I want to get like a yellow one and like a little bit more of a lighter one. But this powder is amazing, guys. So that was it for this little video. I really hope that you guys loved it and enjoyed it. I'm really happy that I'm able to give you guys different content, and I like filming things like this because it's just different, and I get to talk to you guys about not only like the same things over and over again, but like just talking about powders in general. Like it's kind of sad how I can talk to the camera for like 30 minutes on like 30 different powders and they're all uniquely unique. I just love being able to teach you guys something and give you some more insights on products, not just applying it on my face. But let me know what other category of makeup product you want me to talk about, and I can do my roundup of my favorite ones. And of course, I'll include drugstore and high-end. As always, I will have other products that I use listed down below along with their links and discount codes. As always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down to my channel, and also hit the little bell button so you're notified when I make new uploads. So that is it for today, guys. I really hope you guys love this video. As always, muchos besitos y abrazos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!